What is the most embarrassing thing you could admit about yourself on Reddit but never in real life? My girlfriend and I got this nice hotel room in a major downtown city for a mutual friend's wedding. Open bar reception. Blue till it's time to head up for some sexy time. I shitty myself bad as I slide the room key. I say I'll just be a minute as I walk to the bathroom. Panic. I remove boxer briefs. Clean myself up best I can without running a shower. I hide the shitty wet underwear under the garbage can liner and compose myself. I return to my GF and she is all about jumping me. My tuxedo pants are being earnestly taken off and she sees I'm without underwear. She thinks it's for her and responds quite positively. She can never know. Those poor maids. Update 1. GF became my wife 9 years ago. Sometimes when I see a hot lady on the street I take as many mental pictures of her body, then before I go to bed I pop a bunch of melatonin to enhance my dreams, then I try and hunt her down in my dream and FCK her in the ass. I thought I was bit by a deadly spider conveniently on my vag. I had a panic attack and went to the ER because I was obviously dying. So I'm laying on a bed in the ER with my legs spread and no pants and the nurse is like, yup. Definitely an ingrown hair. Edit. Thanks for the gold. When hiding during hide and seek, I used to wet my pants from excitement that the game was about to start. It might still do so to this day. I haven't played hide and seek in a long time. But I've used this to my advantage to actually pee when I'm in a public restroom. Just start counting down from 5, works like a charm. Edit. Lol. Can't believe I lost my gold virginity because of this. Thank you very much though. I hope it made you chuckle or made you want to make the best of a bad situation. I just found out that the fetus I'm pregnant with never developed a brain and will die upon birth. Heart still beats because it has brain stem. I can't terminate because I'm past 20 weeks. Now. I just hope every day that it will die so I don't have to feel it move anymore. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, I was having some entertainment once while my grandfather was sleeping after the lunch. I tried to be funny and farted in front of his nose. Karma exists. As I tried to fart as many times as possible into his sleeping face, I accidentally shat my pants. I'm married to someone who was a virgin and super nave innocent when we met. She has no idea how terrible I am in the sack and thinks it's normal that guys can't last more than a couple minutes maximum. It's bad. Edit. A lot of folks assuming she talks to her friends about sex and knows. Sadly for her, I feel pretty safe saying that's not the case. She doesn't have any female friends she is close with. She spends most of her time at home with the children and hates going anywhere without me. But that's a whole different set of issues we won't get into. And when I say she was nave innocent, that's an understatement. Her parents were raised Amish before leaving the community and they raised her like Amish. Only with electricity. Other than that, some good things for me else to try. Thanks all. The first time I had sex, I ended up fking her belly button. I was just getting my groove on and grunting. And I hear innocuously, "That's my belly button." Instant boner killer. Didn't have sex again for 2 years. She was very overweight. Her name was Betsy. Edit. Also, to set the scene, she was on her back, but her belly hung low. For all I know I could have started in the right place, but with a bad thrust just ended up there and kept going. Open bracket. I'm a 37-year-old female virgin. I've never even had a boyfriend. Edit to weed out repeat questions. It's mostly on me since I am overweight and have body issues that prevent me from being okay enough to share it with someone else. It's also part no one that I know of has ever been interested. But here's the good news, gang. I just asked my magic 8 ball if I would ever get laid. And it stuck pretty solidly on that line between all signs point to yes and yes. Guys. Magic 8 ball caps lock is never wrong. Edit 2. Okay. I tried to be a cool redditor and respond to everyone. But this has been going on for hours and I am going to sleep. Thank you to everyone who had positive messages. And a special thank you to all of you who were helpful enough to point out that I should lose weight and that whatever I am currently doing to lose weight is wrong. And that whatever I have tried in the past to lose weight was wrong. And that I just don't understand how to lose weight. And that I shouldn't take my disability into account. And that I'm just not trying hard enough. And that you know my body better than I do. And how I'm a big fat fatty. Despite the fact I was never asking for any advice. I was just honestly answering the question as to why I was still a virgin. Where would I be without you kind souls to remind me I'm fat? Oh. Wait. I have a mirror. And that mirror doesn't treat me like an asshole. Thanks mirror. I once jerked off to a friend's panties. We were sharing a room in a hostel and I came back drunk one night and saw her panties on her bed. She's a stone cold fox and I couldn't help myself. I took a picture of her panties position on the bed. Snagged them and went to town on myself in the bathroom. I returned them as perfectly I could and she was none the wiser. It's probably the most pathetic thing I've ever done. I live with the mother of my child and sleep in the same bed with her. I basically spend all my time with her. We act like a perfect family. And nobody would even suspect that we weren't in love. But we haven't had sex or even kissed since my son was born. 6 years ago. Edit. We did love each other very much at one time. Now we're more like friends. But not like really good friends. I think we're only still together for my son. He's an awesome little gentleman and we did a kick-ass job raising him. Neither of us could disappoint him by splitting up. We're happy as parents. But neither of us are happy as a couple. I'm not happy but it's the life I chose to live. A couple months ago I decided to take on the challenge of orgasming without touching. I was doing pretty good and was on the verge of coming but then I just pissed myself instead. My doctor thinks I may have Asperger's. Given that my family seems to think Asperger's and mentally retarded are synonyms, I'm not sure I'm going to ever follow up on it or mention it to them for that matter. Edit. I should have mentioned my age. I'm in my early 30s so this isn't so much about my parents finding out from my doctor. I have a large tight-knit family. Parents. Many siblings. And huge extended family. I can't tell one person without everyone else finding out. Everyone knows everything about everyone. There's almost a no secrets policy with us. And while I think in the end they'd all be supportive, it'll be a huge hassle having to teach everyone about it and explain that I haven't suddenly become Forrest Gump. Not confirming the Asperger's just seems like the simpler route. Edit 2. For the record. My family aren't terrible people. Just misinformed about it like many other Americans. So let's stop talking about my mama. Up until I was 18 I believed that if your hand was bigger than your face you had cancer because my cousin never finished the prank on me. He told me this when I was 9. I'm a guy and I pluck my pubes with my fingers. It's so f***ing addicting. My groin looks smooth as FCK but I have to pluck the tiniest of hairs if I spot one. My index finger has like a permanent dent hard skin because of it. Edit. Lol everyone thinks I have OCD. Which is funny because I couldn't disagree more. I might have exaggerated when I said I have to pluck the tiniest of hairs if I spot one. It's just that when I'm sitting laying around doing nothing, my hand naturally gravitates towards that area and I just start plucking whatever's there. Which by now are all very tiny hairs that are starting to grow back because I keep plucking them. One time in college, I really liked this girl and wanted to tell her as much. On Wednesdays, we went to the on-campus club to dance and I was going to tell her there and ask her out. I told her I wanted to talk to her that night. I told her friends I was going to tell her. I got dressed to the nines. Then I lost my nerve. I kept running back to the dorm and making a screwdriver. Then again. Then 2. Then 3 more. And I passed the hell out in the dorm common room. One of my friends came and got me. Cleaned me up. And walked me to my room to put me to bed. The next morning, when I went downstairs to nurse a hangover and play Mario Kart with people, everyone tried to dance around telling me something. Finally, her best friend kind of blurted it out. The friend who put me to bed. and didn't know I had feelings for the girl. Made out with her on the dance floor that night because she was really lonely. They've been together since. Throwaway here. 11. 5 years ago my father died in the middle of the night. Probably due to a burst cerebral aneurysm. There was no effort to discover the true cause because there really wasn't any point to it. It was over in about 15 minutes. I'm a single child. So it was me and my mom left. The next year or so I would get up during the middle of the night and quietly go to my mom's room and stand near her bed and watch her chest if she's breathing, essentially if she is alive. I would stand there motionlessly in the pitch black night for like 3-5 minutes. Until I was sure she is okay and then I would go back to bed. I was really scared of losing her too. Edit 1. Thanks for the kind words. Not that I'm embarrassed about this. But it's not something I would lightheartedly share. Edit 2. Whoa. Internet hugs to all of you kind, caring strangers. 3. I used to hump the floor as a kid before I knew what masturbation was. I had no idea why it felt so good. I was shocked and concerned the first time jizz came out. But that didn't slow me down. My ex and I have been broken up for 8 months. I just saw on Facebook he was in a new relationship and is visiting her in North Carolina right now. He's from Ontario. One of the reasons we broke up was because of long distance. I'm from Michigan. And when I saw that update, I pretty much immediately burst into tears and I've been devastated the rest of the day. And that is what I won't tell anyone in real life. Despite it often feeling very good, it's difficult for me to finish during sex. My ex used to think it was their fault. But I'm pretty sure it's my anxiety medicine, which just makes me not want to take it anymore. Up until a while ago I believed frogs weren't real because my parents told me it was a conspiracy when I really young. I never questioned them. And always thought the teachers were stupid for buying into that frogs are real. But they aren't a conspiracy and my parents played a long evil joke. I'm a f***ing doormat. No matter what anyone does to me, I'll always help them. I will give the last dollar in my bank account to the guy who just shanked me in the kidney to get out of prison. It's really embarrassing to have the constant feeling that I'm nothing and I need to give everyone everything to feel even kind of validated. When I was 20 I had a dream. A really long one. I've dreamt of a girl my age. I met her at a bar. We talked. We liked each other. Over time it grew into something bigger and I was really happy with her. I woke up suddenly. Like seriously in my dream it all took months. Looking back at it I'm still not sure how it worked because it's as hazy as memories. But it influenced me more than a dream should. To this day 3 years later whenever I'm in public I look around hoping I might just meet her. It made me cynical and sad pretty much overnight. Whenever I'm out in public making small talk with a stranger, i.e. cashier, waiter, fellow customer, I will spread a false yet believable rumor about something in our area to see if it will spread around town. I've had about a dozen people emphatically tell me about a bullshit rumor that I myself have started. I guess I could tell people about it but it's just too much dang fun. I feel like a lame version of the Joker. I was 14 and was on my period during a week at camp. I was still embarrassed about the whole menstrual cycle thing so I never made it to the bathroom discreetly to change my pad. My friend's mom drove a bunch of us home. And on the way I noticed I had leaked all over the seat. I was also the first one dropped off at home. I got out of the van and didn't look back. When I was younger and one of my TV shows would come on, K-Lau, Berenstain Bears, Tom and Jerry, etc. I'd strip down naked, no matter who was watching, and do laps in my house screaming the name of the show. This lasted until I was 8. Throwaway account for even more secrecy. I like to plan very carefully. And I work best when that plan is laid out in paper. When I met my boyfriend, I decided that I liked him. And did a lot of research about him. I created dossiers on each of his previous girlfriends. Trying to discern what his type is. No one who knows me would imagine that I do something like that. I'm a totally normal appearing person. I try to rationalize what I did as a way to deal with the nervousness that comes with a crush. We've been together for a year now. And obviously what I did is totally irrelevant at this point. It's hard to explain. It's not as though I wanted to emulate his exes. I simply wanted to be informed. I've never pretended to be anything I'm not. But I've also never mentioned this to him. I've destroyed the files and the hard copies. And I'd be absolutely f***ing mortified if he somehow found out. I know it seems creepy. But I promise that it's totally harmless. All I did was stalk Facebook and do some googling. Which is normal. But the creation of documents still isn't, was pretty weird. I imagine this will get buried in all the responses. So that's good. Old co-workers and family know my Reddit account. I pooped my pants when I was 21. I was at work. I trusted a fart and I shouldn't have. I ran to the bathroom, locked the door, and first tried to clean my underwear in the sink. In utter desperation I then tried to flush my underwear down the toilet, as I didn't want to throw it in the trash lest someone see it. I ripped it into shreds and flushed a piece at a time. Someone knocked by. I said the bathroom was busy. After I cleaned my pants as best I could, I left the bathroom and just went home. I went back the next day and told them I was sick. But I felt like they knew. Edit. At the time this happened, I never thought I could have gotten gold for it. Or any recompense. Thanks for the gold. I have a huge man crush on Patrick Dempsey. I've been to quite a few of the same race weekends that he's been at with his race team. And I've gotten to talk to him one-on-one a few times. He's so down to earth and approachable. And dreamy. I'm 28 and just figured out what I want to do with my life. I don't think most of my friends and family would believe I've been scared shitless trying to figure it out since I was probably 18. In high school, I was good friends with a girl who was a bit of an attention waitress. Okay. A lot of one, but was kinda pretty. One night when she slept over at my house, we decided to explore and I went down on her. I'm a straight female, now happily engaged to a dude. But I've never been afraid of testing boundaries. At the time, she praised my skills and seemed rather pleased, and no, she did not reciprocate. And NBSP. That is not the embarrassing part. The embarrassing part is that now she is married with a kid and is an anti-gay Bible thumper who really just gets on my nerves. If I didn't think it would give close family members a heart attack, I would call her out on it. And NBSP. Didn't hate the gay so much when you were getting your carpet munched. Did you, sweetie? Double quote. My penis is an average 6 inches when erect. But when flaccid it shrinks down to crazy small. Like receding into my pelvic cavity small. I have these intense and weird as FCK visions in my head for certain thoughts. Think J. D. from Scrubs. Like earlier today my mom and I were heading to a family reunion that's about an 11-hour drive. She was talking about something when she realized that she forgot something. She said fuck it. Just buy it there. I immediately imagined a Wicked style musical number, including dancers in costume, with these lines. Did I bring the shampoo? No. Did I bring the sheets? No. Did I bring the pillow? No. Did I remember to bring my favorite blue jeans? Hell no. Lead actress collapses and cries. Should I go back or should I just forget? Without these items I just cannot be here. Loud orchestra clash and the dancers jump up, so FCKIT. Just by IT. This all happened within a few seconds in my head and was quite unexpected. Would never tell anyone else I think like this. I had a post go to the top of Reddit once. I felt quite the sense of achievement until I realized that all I had done was post a cute picture I found in a news article. And for all the deflation that went with that realization, I'm still kind of excessively pleased with myself about it. I didn't know what a vagina looked like until I was 20 and watched porn for the first time. This comment will be so buried that it'll still be a secret. At the time I was 17 and I'm with my first girlfriend. We knew each other for 3 months. Home alone. Invite her over. Thinking I was getting laid. So far. So good. Things go according to plan. We play fight when she, by mistake, really, scratches my eyelid. I feel a sharp pain and react. I throw her off of me. She hits the table and goes unconscious. You should know I'm the burly type. Afterwards she didn't remember what happened. To my defense, I told her. Didn't get laid in a long time because she told others. Sometimes for a midnight snack, I still like to pour the ramen packet straight into a bowl. Sprinkle it with the yummy dust and eat it hard. The crunchy saltiness is so satisfying. It's my secret shame. Edit. I appreciate the support. I am still unable to admit the most embarrassing part of my indulgence, which I left out. I'm still too ashamed. Edit 2. Okay. Fine. Here we go. I don't even know how to explain it, but when I was a kid I found it satisfying to not swallow the hard stuff after I chew it up. And make a ball of dough I guess from that. Sprinkle it with yummy dust. Insert some fresh crunches. And it becomes this warm ball of soft and crunchy dough. And I still do it. I know. It's f-king disgusting. I'm a monster. Seems like something a f-king bird would do. But it's really good. And it's not entirely regurgitated. Just spat out. I can't justify it anymore. It's horrific. But it's also delicious and I eat it in the dark in my basement in the middle of the night a few times a year. Then I chug a huge glass of water and figure that to my stomach. It's all the same and I just ate a bowl of soup like a normal human being. Judge away. One time at dinner I saw a menu item that had peppercorns. Steak and peppercorns. Sounded good. I was out with my husband. And I said that sounds good and ordered it. It came out. And the steak was covered in these hard type beads. I tried one. It was spicy. Like pepper. I asked the server, who had come back, what the hell was on my steak? Mom, those are peppercorns. Double quote. My response was, where the hell is the corn? These taste like pure pepper. Double quote. My husband started laughing so hard he was crying. The server kindly explained what peppercorns were. I was so embarrassed. When I'm alone, sometimes I get really emotional about my grandmother, who was like a mother to me. My dad raised me and my bro on his own. She died about 2 months ago. There are nights where I just sit there and just listen to emotional songs non-stop and cry a little bit. I miss her so much. When I was a kid my brother convinced me ants make you grow faster. I was obsessed with being tall when I was little. I must have ate well over 1000 ants from age 5-7. My mother caught me eating one once and informed me that they do not make you taller and that I was in fact a huge f-king idiot. I am 6'3" now though. So maybe they do work? I have never been more nervous and scared in my life than when I accidentally walked into the woman's washroom at the end of a Leafs game. Before the final buzzer, I walked into an empty room, grabbed a stool and started my business. Buzzer sounds, and the surge of high heels starts bombarding the floor around me. I quickly realize my mistake, yet thought to myself, should I wait them out? Maybe I should just run. I remembered. My wife had to use the bathroom as well. She was most likely in the room with me as I sat. I decided I had to run for it. I finished my task, swung open the stall door to the sight of a massive line. Right out the door. Head down the hallway. I was so scared. So nervous I would get arrested. Or beat up or found by my wife. The worst part came as I was almost clear of the line. A woman yelled at me as loud as she could. "You forgot to wash." Double quote. Don't tell anyone. I'm going to preface this with 2 things. 1. I'm on my phone, so formatting may be iffy. 2. I have diagnosed crippling social anxiety issues. Almost a year ago, I lived out of my car for 2 weeks because I was afraid to ask for help. I missed a rent payment by 2 days. And then for 2 months was too embarrassed, doesn't feel like the right word. But it gets the point across, to fix it. When the notice got posted to my door, it just got worse and worse. I was too panicky to be in the apartment. Too panicky to ask for help. And definitely too panicky to let anyone know I had FK'd up. At this point, I had been off my meds for 3 months. It was worse than it had ever been. I had already told my parents that I wasn't planning on renewing the lease. And was going to stay with them until I found somewhere slightly nicer. And so I killed 2 weeks living in my car. Showering at my cousin's when I went over there to hang out. And generally doing nothing useful. Moral of the story, being sleepy occasionally is an acceptable side effect of anxiety meds. Also, don't go off your meds if they're working, even if your friends all swear by the power of recreational drug use. It's not the same. Adverse reactions may apply. I don't know how to maths. I can do basic addition, subtraction, and multiplication, but that's it. I learned it of course throughout all of school. But I seriously forgot it all. I don't even know how to divide. I have to use a calculator. And if decimals are involved I'm completely fucked. I'm 31. When I was about 22, I got too drunk to drive once. Like really drunk, and I couldn't find a ride or take a taxi because I was living with parents at the time who live 15 miles outside of town in the middle of nowhere. Instead of calling them for a ride like normal human being, I hid my wallet, cell phone and keys in an alley, and then I punched myself in the face like 6 times really hard. I walked like 4 blocks to a gas station and had them call the police and tell them that I was mugged. Like 15 cops showed up and even had dogs to try and get a scent off of the fictitious attackers. They were even looking for footprints and said that they thought they might have a lead. A cop gave me a ride home and told my parents what happened. I never admitted to anyone what really happened because I became impregnated by the sympathy party. I got free drinks from everywhere around town for like a month. I bought an electric guitar with every intention of learning how to play. Instead, when I'm home alone I just turn my music up super loud and strum the shit out of it. I rock my bedroom mirror at time. For me, Reddit is more than just a diversion. For all my years of mandatory schooling, remaining silent in the classroom, this is like finally being able to raise my hand. Being able to express myself and have my existence acknowledged. Brief exchange by brief exchange is thrilling and new to me. I love ASMR, but I don't think that's something I could talk to my friends and family about in public. Masturbating to the picture is not embarrassing. I see no mention of you acting on what was a blatant signal that she wanted to get pounded while wearing the socks. If that's how it happened, that's what should embarrass you. I was talking to this girl and our conversation went to fetishes, and I told her I had a semi-fetish with long socks. We laughed it off. Until the next day, where she texted me. Guess what I found? It was her legs and feet in red long socks. I saved that picture and told her it looked good. The real truth? I don't think I'd ever gotten as aroused as I did at that moment. I saved that picture and jerked off to that picture for such a long time. So, I guess I'd admit that I have masturbated frequently to a picture of feet inside of red long socks. You broke my heart for as long as it took me to read this. That's an impact. You don't realize the impact you make daily. I'm sorry you are going through this. You can always PM me. I'm up. Always here on Reddit, haha. So feel free. If you ever just want to shoot the shit. Talk about your day. Whatever, dude. Edit. This is an open invitation for anyone feeling shitty ever. For like a month I followed that pacifier necklace fad in school. It arrived to my school much later than everywhere else. And my group of friends started doing it and I followed. I found it a couple of months ago and realized I had completely blocked it from my mind. When I was about 6 years old, my sister, 8, and I used to play massage, and then, just like the pornos, it transitioned into sexy time. It was consensual on both ends and it happened for about 2 years until she started going through puberty. I'm now 16. She is 18 and has a fiance. He's the only other person in the world besides us that knows about this. I will never tell a living soul, besides y'all.